It's your boy Big Vern here at the App Stupid Studios. If you like the last segment, go ahead and share the content. Give us a thumbs up. We appreciate it. Goes a long way on the channel. We talk some Denver Nugget basketball. They fired the general manager and the head coach because they couldn't get along. And in the first segment, we talked about Luka Doncic and the ridiculous outrage over a justified technical foul. Two of them he got, and an ejection in a game the Lakers needed to have. So we're going to go ahead and pivot from the association to college football. College football has a new FCS member in the form of Chicago State. Congratulations to the Cougars. We'll dive into that when we come back from a rap album. It's your boy Big Vern. Big Vern. We promoting another rap album here at App Stupid this month. Reasons. I Love You Again. In stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites on the track is Stuck on Moments, featuring Coda the Friend and Diana Stewart. Not What You Think, with Reasons and Boss. 100 Freestyles, featuring Ben Riley. And Hio, That with Ransom and Coyote. I Love You Again by Reasons, in stores now. Yeah, shout out to Reasons. I thought it was dope. Just a good, like I said, it's a good album. Shout out to him. He's still doing his thing. Chicago State, they've got a new football program debuting in 2026 in the FCS NCAA. Congratulations to them. They're launching their football program after raising $4 million. Think about that. $4 million. These people had to go out, raise the funds. They had to put the money together and rub the nickels. And this will let you know how much money is floating around state-owned universities, because you got some kids with $4 million NIL deals by themselves. But they're launching a program on $4 million. Again, the South Side is one step closer to hosting a Division I football program, as Chicago State University has hired Bobby Rome II to be their first football head coach. Now, Rome, he's a former fullback, NFL practice squad player, and longtime college coach. It was announced earlier this week that he was going to lead Chicago State's new football program. He comes to the Cougars from Florida Memorial University, a historical black school, where he earned a 15-15-1 record as a head coach in 2022 of January. So he's had some success. He's had some losses. But at the same time, congratulations to him. I don't think people know how hard it is to play in the NFL. Even if you're on the practice squad, it is hard because you're trying to stay employed. You're trying to fight for a job. You still have to show up and give it 110%, because some guy on the team might get hurt and you might get called up. And you got to show them, hey, look, I'm giving it my all. I'm busting down. And if he was able to go ahead and do that for a number of years and then go into coaching, those kids from Chicago are really going to benefit from this. And I think that's dope. But when you start in a program, you got to put on a lot of hats. And we'll get into his hats and the other things and that he's going to have to go ahead and clear the hurdles and the roadblocks when we come back from a quick 20. It's your boy Big Vern. Drop the spot. Bum, ba, bum. It's your boy Big Vern pumping another rap album. Will Smith, based on a true story, in stores now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. My personal favorites is You Looking For Me. That's crazy. Bulletproof with Jack Ross. Hard Times featuring Tanya Taylor. Beautiful Scars with Big Sean. Tantrum is probably the song of the year. I'm not gonna hold you. Tantrum is on a whole nother level. That's Will rapping. Oh my God and work of art is so deep. Will Smith, based on a true story, in stores now. Yeah, shout out to Will Smith doing this thing. I thought it was a dope LP. If I had one complaint about the album, it was too broad. I think he had to narrow it down. But when I say broad, he had a lot of subjects he was touching, a lot of vulnerability out there, heavy rhyme patterns and cadences. I dug the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? But I would have preferred him to focus on one or two aspects, and then that would have made the album a little bit more coherent. But overall, I thought it was a good LP. So when we last left off, we were talking about Mr. Rome wearing many hats, because not only are you the new coach, you got to go out and recruit, you got to fundraise, you got to get people interested, and you got to go ahead and be able to pull in a crowd. Now, there are not going to be any 4 or 5-star talent that is going to sign up to play against Chicago State. So let's not kid ourselves. Where they can find traction is playing against Michael Vick in Norfolk State. They can find some Solomon playing against Eddie George in Tennessee State and Deshaun Jackson out in San Jose. They can find the money playing those guys and making it somewhat of a classic or a round robin where everybody gets a game out of it and hold their own mini tournaments. And that's just enough teams and cachet you can get in front of the TV and let guys know, hey, look, there is football at a lower level. Because what happens all too many times, especially in this current climate of NCAA football, you don't know who's watching. You don't know who's willing to make you an offer to get you into a bigger program. You don't know whose system you fit. So you can't thumb your nose up at Chicago State and be like, well, I don't want to play for the Cougars. Well, playing for the Cougars, Bo Pelini in Illinois just happens to see, hey, look, this kid is a damn good running back. Do we know him? Who knows his contact information? He fits in our system. You just have no idea. Kurt Cignetti from Indiana, he looks at little bitty schools where they have great talent and the talent fits their system and they can play on any level. Up until Curtis Rourke played at Indiana under center, nobody knew who the hell that dude was when he was in Xavier. If you wasn't from Ohio, you didn't know who the hell that dude was. And look at him. Look at the maturation Cignetti put on him during the season. That dude is now in the NFL Combine. You went from obscurity to the NFL Combine out of a small school because you caught a coach's eye. That's what I'm trying to relate. So yeah, look at the Deion Sanders of the world. Deion, can I get a payday? Most famously, you would take the statement from Marvin Hagler. If you love me, you fight me. This is how I feed my family. This is how I put bread on my table. If you love me, play me. Y'all can have these out of conference games and you can put money on these guys. You can help them, but also you got to understand it's a lose-lose for Deion at this point. Because if Deion plays Norfolk State, who is that going to help? Norfolk State. If Deion beats Norfolk State, who is that going to help? Norfolk State. Because the way that the committee is now shaped up for you to get into these college playoffs, the first thing they ask is, who have you played? You can't play Chicago State because they're a first-year program. It sounds nice, but in reality, you can't help them out. Because that win is just going to be overlooked. And so, like I said, if you Michigan, do you play Chicago State? Hell, I know Signetti will ink a deal to play them because that's a check. That's a check for Chicago State. Now, how bad they get beat, that's not going to help build a program anytime soon. But that takes a load off of his shoulders. That Rome doesn't have to worry about fundraising for the next year because the football program has enough money out there. Again, it's monumentous. I don't want to take anything away from these folks. Chicago State has done a great job. War Cougars. Go ahead. But the landscape of which in college football exists right now is just an uphill battle. It's just an uphill battle right now to get things done. So I wish him well, and I hope it all works out for him. If you are in the Southside Chicago area, good folks of Cook County, let me know what you think. Again, if you are listening to this pod, get in the comments. Let us know that we get it right. What did we leave out? This is Big Vern. We talk back. We'll be back. Top of the hour. This is your boy, Big Vern.